Okay, my watch says I heard. Please join us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2 on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does anybody have any items that you want to remove from the consent agenda at this time? Okay, we will deal with the consent agenda a little later on. And we have special activities. We have a public hearing scheduled for Clear Creek Reserve Street Lighting District with Resolution 5194, resolution providing for changes in the Clear Creek Township street lighting system for establishing Clear Creek Reserve Street Lighting District and dispensing of second hearing.
Yes, Mr. Kelchner, on behalf of Headwaters Limited, he's the sole property owner when he filed the application, which will be sold on to establish a lighting district. It's comprised of 4 lights on each end of the 2 streets. Pretty straightforward. Every lot in there is accessible.
Okay. Very, very normal. Anybody have any questions for Matt about 5194?
Do you want to, is there a public hearing for this?
You know, close the meeting, open the public.
Okay, I'd like to have a motion to close the meeting and open the public hearing. So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And now open the public hearing.
Receiving application filed, everything's in order.
Any questions for Matt about 5194? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
And reconvening the regular meeting, is there a motion to approve 5194? So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. It's a good thing council wasn't here, you probably had another one. And we have, under special activities also, we have an oath of office for Joe Ellis of the Board of Zoning Appeals, alternate member. Joe, if you would. If you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Joe Ellis,
do solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
required as an alternate member
required as an alternate member
of the Board of Zoning Appeals
of the Board of Zoning Appeals
of Clear Creek Township,
of Clear Creek Township,
to which office I have been appointed,
to which office I have been appointed
according to the law and the best of my ability.
according to the law and the best of my ability.
Thanks for doing this again. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I've never left.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. See you in just a little bit.
Thank you. Also under special activities, we have an awards ceremony for crews who operated at the Banker truck fire on State Route 42 on October 20th. Yes, sir.
I have the following people come up. Lieutenant Brian Petrie, firefighter paramedic Kevin Wortman, firefighter paramedic Brad Lukey, Lieutenant Levi Sargent, firefighter paramedic Matt Walker, firefighter paramedic Alex Buchel, firefighter paramedic Brian Likens, you can come over here, firefighter paramedic Jordan Holbrook, firefighter paramedic Kyle Lawlich, firefighter paramedic Barry Deaton, firefighter paramedic Naveed Khan, Lieutenant Justin Knoll cannot be with us tonight. He had previous for his daughter's birthday party, so he'll be here. And then last but not least, Captain Kent Clary. So I would like to show you a PowerPoint real quick. So this is about 45 minutes into this incident. So and some of the fuel had burned off, so the fire actually is small at this point compared to what the fire was when the crews initially arrived. So this gives you a chance to kind of see, this is looking towards the back of the tanker truck, and this is looking towards the front of the tanker truck. So on the morning of October 20th, a little before 4 a.m., these guys responded to a crashed tanker truck upside down in a ditch, carrying 6,800 gallons of fuel, and it was on fire. So it's kind of one of those scenarios that you put in an assessment center with like, this is never going to happen, but this morning it did. So what our crews were able to do was apply water to protect the crews operating in a rescue mode from the fire, and also to protect the victims so that they didn't burn. Another set of crews were able to extricate the driver from the driver's door there, where you can see where he was cut out. He was pinned in the truck, so they were able to actually use our extrication equipment and get him cut out. And then once they were able to extricate him, then they were able to pass him on to a medic crew so he could be transported quickly to the hospital to receive care. So our crews, as you guys know, they do exceptional work every day. They take care of the community, but there's just sometimes they truly put their lives at risk, and this is one of those cases. You know, when I described this to some of my fire service friends, it felt like I was describing an episode of Chicago Fire or something where you just see it, and it's like my wife hates watching those shows because I said that's not true, that would not happen, but this was one of those times where it really did. So these crews that were involved simply did a fabulous job. So the gentlemen on this side of the room, they will all be receiving the Meritorious Service Award. So what the Meritorious Service Award does is it's an award presented to any member of the department who distinguishes themselves by extraordinary heroism. The firefighter must be fully aware of the imminent threat to their personal safety and have acted above and beyond the call of duty. These gentlemen over here, they're going to actually receive our Medal of Valor, which is the highest award that our crews can get. So without these gentlemen would not have been able to do what they did. They were the support staff. They were the ones that supplied the water to keep them safe, and then ultimately set up the foam operations to extinguish the fire. And Captain Clary was actually in charge of this entire incident. So he was up close, and someone operating in a command vehicle is the hardest part of this job, because it's kind of like being a parent watching your child play sports. You'd much rather be that person out there in the game involved, because it's easier. When you're the parent, you're in the stand, or you're the incident commander in the car, you're just watching and hoping and praying that nothing goes wrong. And in this night, Captain Clary did a phenomenal job commanding the scene. These gentlemen did a phenomenal job providing support to these gentlemen who actually put their lives in peril by going up into that truck and cutting that victim out of the crash. So tonight, actually joining me is Jeff Miller, the driver of the truck. So he's here to help me present these gentlemen with their award. So Jeff, if you'd like to come up. Sorry, I know this next one. Thank you, sir. 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 Start down here. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. I thank every one of you guys once again for your time, and I appreciate you guys helping me out. Have a good night.
You too, for coming in here.
All right, thank you very much.
As always, we appreciate what our departments do for us, and you guys did another phenomenal job. I know you do it all the time, but this was kind of unusual.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Good job.
Good job. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Right here, like 4 bruises on my shoulder. The only thing that still hurts. The worst part, right? I went back to work 2 days later. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. My owner said that he's been in business since he was 90, he was 82. He said that was the very first impression he's ever seen somebody walk away with just like that. Brett. It was. My blood pressure was 101/88.
I'm glad you're doing good.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Jeff. Yep, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Everybody's here. Thank you guys again.
Next item on the agenda is under the fiscal business, we have the fiscal officer's report.
Yes, sir. As you know, later in the meeting, we're going to talk about the budget a little bit. But first things first, we had a transfer resolution that I need to get approved. Basically, what happened is that we made more money in interest than what I had planned on. And so it's one of those good things.
Dr. Low problem.
Yeah, and since Steve wants his money and John wants his money, I need the authority to be able to do that. So if you would, I'd like your approval for resolution 5195.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Russ about 5195? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve 5195?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yeah. Anything else, Russ?
Negative?
No. Is there not much public comment?
Ryan, you want to say something?
I got nothing.
Moving on to new business, the road department, a recommendation to purchase a OMAG VW 55E single drum vibrating roller. I know you're putting down more asphalt than you used to.
The one that we currently have, we brought it over from the city building. It's over 25 years old, and we called to get parts, and they wanted to put it in their shop as an antique in the entryway. So, and with the radiuses like the one on Red Line 5 points and 73 and stuff there with the edges, we just need something with some more compaction. And this should give it to us hopefully. So.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about this purchase for Scott? If none, there's a motion to approve the purchase of this roller at a cost of $6,114. So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yay. Anything else at this time?
No, sir.
Okay. Police Department, we have a recommendation to accept the 2019 Road Foundation Award for an amount of $35,000.
Yeah, Loeb was pretty generous to us this year. This is actually going to be a collaborative project between us and the fire department a little bit. I conferred on some stuff that we need to do for next year. Relationships with the park, so we'll bring it to the board next year when the funds hit and move forward with that. But they really like the project, so that's something Steve and I talked about. So we'll get that to you for the first year.
Anybody have any questions for the chief? Is there a motion to accept this grant?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yay. And the fire district also has received the Low Foundation grant in the amount of $19,000.
Correct, yeah, we're using the money to upgrade some of our radio systems and computer, some of the software is getting outdated, we're going to upgrade some of that for our in-vehicle computers.
Very good. Is there a motion to accept this grant to the fire district? So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yay. Anything else at this time?
Yes, sir.
Under administration, we have resolution 5196, the first reading of a resolution approving, modifying, and denying the fiscal year 2020 permanent appropriations.
This is the labor of the last few months, putting together the budget figures. All the department did a terrific job pulling together what their needs were for 2020, and we discussed it individually in meetings, and talked about expenditures, talked about where they're going for direct revenues, sharpened the pencil, dialed in on a few things that needed to be cut back on here and there, but we present to you the 2020 appropriations budget, and ask that the board read it tonight for the first reading. I don't think we need to vote on it tonight, just need to read it. And then, of course, Russ and I are available for any questions that you might have.
All right.
I have a few little quick comments on that too, sir.
Good, go ahead.
Just as sort of an overview, this is something I think that a fiscal officer should do as part of the budgetary process, to give you a high overview of the budget. You know, some of the things that we're looking at, work with, we're purchasing an additional dump truck, about $138,000 for that out of the general fund. We're looking to get a new park tractor for next year. Again, these vehicles are very old enough to drive in some cases. We added about 180 to the budget for the coterminous agreement. We've got $325,000 set aside for paving next year. Matt, how much do you think that we've been spending on paving in the last few years?
Well, 18 and 19 combined, we spent almost $1 million on repaving. Years prior to that, it's been about anywhere from $220,000 to about $269,000 in 17, 16, and 15. That's where our paving figures are, but the last 2 years, there's been an investment, substantial investment in it to the tune of almost $1 million.
Well, we were in a situation where we had to do some catching up,
Yeah.
and the price kind of got us too, just the question.
Yeah, it's just an idea that we're trying to meet the obligations that you set forth for us on that. We've got $70,000 set aside for salt for next year. The gas tax fund, we've got a new employee set aside in there for your consideration. The police budget, we've got about $3.3 million projected budget for that. We actually think we'll spend closer to 2.7 on that. The reason why we put that pad in there is that we want to be able to quickly respond to issues if we need to without having to get prior approval of those types of things. There's enough money in the budget, and there's enough revenue that's coming in that we can make that feasible. So in general, we're getting about $2.6 million in revenue from the police. Mm-hmm. So we think we're getting close to about 2.9. So in other words, we're pretty neutral on the police budget. Fire, we have about $7.8 million anticipated for that. We anticipate revenue of around $6.4 million in property taxes and grants for 19. So we should have a similar number as far as the revenue. So you're looking at a projected $1.4 million deficit for 2020. The spread that's between the revenue and expenses is going to continue to happen. We're going to have just north of $4 million in the bank at the end of this year. So it's something that's going to need some attention in the next year's time frame. And of course, you all know this, but it's part of my job to say it publicly. And lastly, the EMS, there's no large capital expenditures are planned for 2020, but they do have some smaller capital needs being met by the fund. And revenue for this fund, due to the fact that they're making runs like crazy, we're estimating about $600,000 for this year of revenue in that fund. But again, you know, when a pumper truck costs $600 and some thousand, and you know, a Quint is like $850, and a ladder truck is about 1.1, 1.2 million. So you need the money to make it run. And that's it, sir. I just wanted to give you a quick overview.
No, I appreciate that. Anybody have any questions for Rose? No? Okay. This is the first reading of Resolution 5196. We have had a chance to look at the numbers, and we've done some explanations. And for this particular meeting, because we have a second reading, I think that's all that we need to say.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to planning and zoning department.
I have nothing for the agenda.
Next item is the consent agenda. So motion to approve the consent agenda. So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have staff updates.
Actually, I just give you a brief understanding. We finally had our first stakeholders meeting for the Red Line sewer study last Wednesday. The four major property owners, three were in attendance, and with positive on moving forward with the project. We have the next meeting in December, which will bring the smaller property owners into play and see where things go. So at this point in time, we are progressing. We don't have all of the numbers at this point in time. We're still trying to get all the calculations for use and the like, but it was a productive meeting, and look forward to the next one. Excuse me? Yeah, December 11th at 6:30 is when we have that. At this point, I'm expecting you guys to attend, 'cause it's still in the early stages. But just so you're aware, if you start talking with some of the neighbors and some of the people down the line.
Very good. Any other staff updates this time?
I've got a few things if nobody else does. Tentatively dialed in on December 20th for the employee Christmas party, if that's okay with you gentlemen. The morning of.
Okay.
Anticipate bringing the employee handbook update to the board at the next meeting, as well as the facility study. All the work is complete on that, we're going to finish the touches on the actual report itself. So hopefully I have those deliverables at the next meeting on the 25th. And in case you hadn't noticed, the building on the administrative side anyway, we did some insulation, some blow-in foam insulation to deaden the sound in the building, and it's helped a little bit. But for instance, the wall behind you, it was accessed from the other side, and they filled that wall. So it's a problem that's been with us for a few years, so hopefully that takes care of some of it.
Say something was built.
That's all I've got for update.
Okay. All right, anybody have any questions for any staff at this point?
And that's 11 to 1 on the 20th?
Is that what we usually do? Yeah,
I believe
it sounds
so.
like it, yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? We do have an executive session scheduled. If I have anything else I'd like to bring up before we recess this meeting and go to executive session. Is there a motion to recess the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Okay, we're back. We're back from executive session. Time to reconvene the regular meeting. Is any further business come before the trustees? Anything? No. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Mr. Third, yes.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah.